Hello students, today I am going to tell you about the silk fiber. Silk is another animal fiber obtained from silkworms. Silkworms are the larvae or caterpillars of the silk moths. There are many species of silk moths, but the most widespread silk is obtained from the silk moth Bombyx mori. There are few characteristics of silk fiber. Silk fiber is also an animal fiber. Silk is one of the highly prized fibers because of its shining luster. It is a good fabric for both winters and summers due to its heat resistant nature. Next we have life cycle of silk moth or a life cycle of a silk worm. The female silk moth lays eggs in groups. The eggs developed into silkworms called larvae or caterpillars. The silkworm eats large amounts of leaves for 20 to 30 days and molts through 4 changes of their skin. Before moving to the next stage, it spins a solid cocoon around its body and changes to the next stage, pupa, inside the cocoon. The cocoon takes about 3 days to be fully complete. The cocoon is made of fiber which changes to silk on exposure to air. The pupa emerges from the cocoons as a silk moth. In cultivated silk, the larva is killed inside the cocoon in order to extract the silk from cocoon. The male and female moths again mate and the female moths lay eggs. The moths die immediately after laying eggs. In nature, this life cycle occurs once a year, but under experimental setup, it can occur up to 3 times in a year. Next, we have production of silk or the process of sericulture. The process of rearing of silkworms for the production of silk is known as sericulture. This process includes both rearing and reeling of silkworm. The raising of silkworms in order to obtain silk is called sericulture. Production of silk is a slow and gradual process. There are many species of silkworm that can produce silk, but among them Bombyx mori is the most widely used. The silk is a continuous filament fiber consisting of a protein called fibrin and a gum called sericin. Fibrin prepares the silk filaments and sericin cements the two filaments together. The sericin is removed by placing the cocoons in hot water. This process frees silk filament and prepares them for reeling. The stages of silk productions are as follows now. The silk moth, that is Bombyx mori, lay eggs on mulberry tree. The eggs hatch into caterpillars, that is silkworm. They fed chopped mulberry leaves for 20 to 25 days. When the silkworms are about 25 days old, they became 10,000 times heavier than their first stage. They are now ready to spin a silk cocoon. Silk is produced from the silkworm's head and then forced out in the liquid form through opening called spinnerets. The silk solidifies when it comes into contact with the air. The silkworm completes its cocoon, which is about 4 cm long, in about 5 days by producing 600 to 1200 meters of silk filament. The cocoons are then put in hot water, which kills the worms as well as loosens the filaments. Some cocoons are preserved to get silkworms that are used later for breeding. One cocoon contains approximately 1000 yards of silk filament. The silk at this stage is known as raw silk. The filaments from several cocoons are reeled off together to prepare a continuous strong thread. Just one thread consists of 48 individual silk filaments. Finally, the threads are dried and the raw silk is reeled and packed according to the quality. So, we have already discussed about some of the properties of the silk fiber. Next, we have different types of silk fabrics. As you all know, mulberry silk, tussar silk, oak tussar, kosa silk, munga silk, these are the different varieties of the silk which we are using. Silk has many qualities that sets it apart from its other fibers. Silk is lustrous and dyes well. Therefore, any color on silk fibers take on a bright sparkle. Silk is not affected by water, although detergent and perspiration can break down its fibers. Silk garments gives us warmth without weight. Therefore, they can be worn both in summer and in winter. Silk threads are as strong as iron wires of the same diameter. Because of its elastic nature, silk can be combined and knitted with the other fibers like wool to prepare beautiful garments. Next, we have health hazards in sericulture. So, manual handling of the cocoons may lead to blisters, peeled off skin, or sometimes minor skin infections. The uses of chemicals to dye the silk may result in irritation of eyes, skin infections of skin, lungs, and breathing problems. Inappropriate ventilation, high temperature, humidity, and noise made by the machines in the factory can harm the general health of the workers. So, these are the health hazards which the workers are facing in the silk industry. That's all for today. Thank you.